All right, folks, Jermaine Farrell in the house with the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz Media Days. We're getting ready for the 2025 season, and right now we shine the spotlight on the green wave of Narrows. And joining me in the Michael Jordan year, or LeBron, depending on who you cheer for, 23rd year with the Narrows green wave, Coach Kelly Lowe. Coach Lowe, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well.
Looking good as usual.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
I'll tell you one thing. Last year, Coach, you went 6-5. You lost in the regional semifinals at Bath County. You've been in the playoffs 10 straight years. Your thoughts and impressions about last year going into this year?
We had a great year. Ran into a really good football team in Bath County who got us twice there late in the year. But our kids really performed all year. Coaches did a great job. We fell a little bit short of what we wanted to accomplish, but there's only one team that can walk away at the end and with that trophy, and it's our goal to get back there and improve on what we did last year.
And then looking at your season ahead, you start off the season on August the 29th at Floyd County. Mm-hmm. This is crazy. I looked this up. It's your first meeting with Floyd County since '95. So it's pretty much right around the early stages of your coaching career. I mean, and then, you won. Floyd won that game in overtime, 20-14. But talk about bringing them back on the schedule and then just your non-district schedule overall.
Well, it's a great opportunity for us. Floyd is a team that's not real far from us. And, Coach Cromer and I, we go back many years when he was at Christiansburg. We used to do some 7-on-7s and got a good relationship with Coach Cromer. He does a great job wherever he's at. And we just got in touch with each other in the off season, and they were looking for a game, and we were trying to find a game, and it fit our schedule perfect. So we're excited about that. It's going to be a really tough test for us. He did a great job last year. I think they made it to the region semifinals as well last year. So it's a great opening game just to see where you're at. And we feel like our out-of-district schedule is as tough as there is. We play Holston, we play Chilhowie, we play Honaker. Of course, we play Giles, and then we have James Monroe in Monroe County, West Virginia. So we try to make our out-of-district schedule as hard as we can, and I think we've done a good job of doing that.
You can talk a little about the two players you brought in today and what they mean to the team and everything like that.
Cooper Helvey and Tucker Bryan, both of them have been Cooper's been a 4-year starter for us. Tucker will be a 3-year starter, and both of them are just phenomenal football players, well-rounded athletes. But more importantly, as good as they are at football and athletics, they're just as good a person. And they're two fine young men, and we're looking for great things from them. Cooper's going to step in there at running back, what he's done the past couple of years, and really be a stronghold on our defense for us. And Tucker is kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He played receiver for us last year and did a great job. Then came in and filled in at quarterback when our quarterback got hurt and did a phenomenal job. So two well-rounded athletes, and we're excited for their senior year.
And then, Coach, you mentioned something before we started recording, and this was kind of stayed with me. Obviously, your dad, Coach Lowe, Don Lowe, he took over midway in the '91 season, and then obviously you followed in his footsteps as head coach. And you even mentioned that he calls you, after the game and stuff.
Yeah.
How impactful has he been to you? Not only, you played under him, and then as a coach, and then just overall in general, how impactful he's been to you?
Oh, it's huge. It's it's a sounding board too. As bad as I think I've got it, I can always call him, and he always kind of shoots me straight. He reminds me, don't let your highs be too high and don't let your lows be too low, because there's always that middle ground that you need to be in, and it's really good to have somebody as that sounding board who's been there, who's been in the fire, so to speak, and he can tell you exactly what you need to know, and he doesn't sugarcoat it. Why you didn't punt down there or why you didn't go for it. So it's always the first phone call I get, that, and then my daughter. So I always get the two phone calls, and they let me know exactly how we played.
Wow.
So it's always fun.
I mean, when I talk to a lot of these coaches, whether they just started at a school or early in their head coach career, or when you're in your 23rd year, what's something that the 23-year veteran coach, you, would tell your first-year head coach, yourself then? What piece of advice would you give to the younger Coach Lowe starting off versus today?
Number one, it's high school football, and you're dealing with high school kids, and they're not going to always make the best decision, and you've got to keep a level head And just like I said earlier, you can't let your highs be too high, and you can't let your lows be too low, because in the end it is a game, and they're not out there trying to make mistakes. Mistakes will happen, and just do your best. Enjoy the relationships you're making. Enjoy the relationships that you're going to have for a lifetime with these young men, and just enjoy it. And at the end of the day, it is a game. We all want to win it, but it is a game.
Yes, sir. And at the end of the day, Coach, what's it going to take for Narrows to have the season that you expect to have?
We got to stay healthy. Obviously with a small school, your numbers are very important, and we don't have the most numbers, but we've got really good quality kids, and we've got to stay healthy. And I think if we get better each day, and with the mindset of improving and not staying the same, just improving each day, then we've got a chance to be pretty successful at the end of the year.
Well, Coach, it's always a joy seeing you come up here on Highway 460, cutting across. I appreciate you, sir. Awesome. Good luck this year.
Hey, thank you guys for what you all do for high school football in the area. It's huge, and it means a lot to us and our kids in the small schools. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure having you here. So, Coach, you guys, again, starting off the season on August the 29th, you're taking on Floyd County. The Narrows Green Wave in our spotlight of the Hardee's Friday Night Blitz as we get you ready with Media Days for the 2025 season.
Cooper Helvey.
And spell it out for me.
Cooperhelvey.
Okay, high school,
Narrows High School.
position,
Running back,
and graduating class.
2026.
Okay. All right, Cooper, senior year. Just what's the excitement around, going into your final season for Narrows?
It's our last season, so you don't get to do this ever again after this. We lost a lot last year, so coming into this season, I'm really looking forward to see how we do, how we come off going against Floyd at the beginning. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I'm excited to see how we do. I'm ready to get started.
With those losses, obviously it was probably more than what you guys would have wanted, but what was some things that y'all took from each of those games that you kind of hope to apply and learn from, why it was a loss, and, was it too many turnovers? Was it too many, flags being thrown? What was some lessons being learned in those?
I'd say a lot of mental errors. We weren't really focused sometimes going into the games later in the season. I feel like a lot of us, just kind of drained out, and, with that case, I feel like this year's going to be different. We're all ready to come, stick with it, and I think with the senior class this year, we got some good leaders. I think that we'll be mentally prepared, going into the season, learning from last year.
Besides those losses, you guys were able to still make it to the first round of playoffs. That made it the 10th straight. Narrows was able to kind of keep that. You guys were able to keep that, that stint of a decade going. What's it been like? I guess is that like a future plan to keep going, but going further this year?
Yes, ma'am. We look to always go as far as we can to keep up with that first round appearance. I hope and I plan this year to go to second round, if not farther than that. We like to go all the way. But our first goal is definitely to win back the district title that we've lost over the past 2 years. Just looking forward to getting that back first.
How's the off-season been for you?
How's the off season?
Yeah.
It's been great. Been active over the summer. Plan on starting back up with the team a lot more as we come closer to the school year. It's great. All of us are showing up to summer lifting. Just getting prepared for the senior year.
What kind of goes through your head when, I don't know, but for me, football season, I'm like, okay, I'm excited, I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
What goes through your head when all right, we got, 3 weeks before the season starts? It starts to get that time, you got a countdown in your
Yeah.
mind. How does that kind of make you feel just as a player too? Because this is going to be a special year for you, knowing that you get to be back on that field and perform in front of all these fans and community and in front of coach.
It's exciting. Football is probably my favorite sport. I've played it since I was a kid. I really look forward to it every year. Knowing this is my last year, it's crazy, but it's flown by. But I'm really excited to see how we show up and what we're willing to do. I feel like we're prepared this year a lot more than we have been. I really do think that I'm excited, and I really do think that we'll do well this year. I'm just ready for it to start up. I'm ready to go.
Would you guys say y'all like looking for like a new identity this year, or are you kind of hoping to keep what y'all have a foundation of and just build off of that?
I'd say we keep the foundation and build off of it. You know, always strive to be better than you were the last year. Not really changing up the roots, but, you know, learn from our mistakes and build off of it. So I plan on doing that.
How's Coach been?
It's great. You know, he's great.
How is he like as just out there on the field? Like, is he stern? Is he laid back? Like, obviously on and off the field, he has probably two different personalities when y'all are in grind mode. But then, you know, just tell us a little about how he is for you.
He's a great role model. I really look up to him. He's like a second dad. I've been around him a long time. Since I was a kid, I've always shown up. You know, I've seen him around a lot. He's a great guy, really easy to get along with. He's a great coach on and off the field. Like I said, he's kind of like a second dad. He's always there for, you know, second opinion, best opinion. He's ready to help you in the best way he can, any way possible. He's always there. On the field, he's a great guy. He's just, you know, he's tense. He's ready to go, but he knows when to lay back and when not to, and he really gets the team going. So I really look up to him. Yeah.
It might be too early to tell, but speaking of Floyd County, obviously y'all's first season opener. What do you feel like y'all's secret weapons is going to be versus what Floyd might bring to the table that day?
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about Floyd. They got a pretty good, solid team, good coaches. I've never seen them play, but you know, that's just what I've heard. So based off of that, you know, every game, like every other game, come in prepared. You know, give it our best shot. We can only do as much as we can do. I think that we'll come in with a good game plan and go from there. Really.
No, I'm Gucci.
Tuckerbryan.
All right, and what's your position?
Quarterback.
Taking over the reins. And what year in school are you?
2026.
So you should be a successful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first, and just say your name for me, just so I get it.
Tucker Bryan.
All right, well, Tucker, talk to me, man. First, how's it feel to be back?
Feels great. I had a shoulder injury during baseball, but I've healed it over the off season, so I should be good.
What's it kind of like? What does it take to kind of get through something like that, especially to prepare for another sport? I know there's the physical aspect of it, but there's a mental aspect of that as well, right?
Definitely just going at it every day, just trying to get that healed, just really focusing in on that.
Cool beans. And you know, you're back, group of seniors. What's
Yeah.
that kind of brotherhood been like?
Well, I've known them since I've came here to Narrows in 4th grade, so it's kind of surreal going into our senior season already.
Is it really just kind of like, oh man, just like 4
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
it's just like been a flash, right? You guys are playing Floyd. This is a team, if I'm not mistaken, you haven't seen since like what, '95.
Yeah,
That's kind of, in my mind, that's not long ago. But I know for you guys, that's like kind of
Yeah.
crazy to think of. What is that kind of like, and how do you prepare for a team that just haven't played in forever?
Well, I don't really have any clue about him, but I'm just depending on my coaches to give us a good game plan.
Speaking of coaches, Coach Lowe, I mean, he's been there for a minute. He's a legend. His father's a legend, family a legend. What's it like playing for Coach Kelly Lowe?
He's definitely a really good coach. He's always there for us outside of the field as well, so that's really good to have someone like that.
What does he mean to you personally?
Well, I definitely look up to him. He's taught me a lot about football and other aspects of life.
Cool beans. And you know, I got to go into a little bit last year. You guys lost to Bath County.
Yeah.
How do you kind of use that as motivation for this season?
Just remembering how that feeling is, losing and just being over with, just sucked.
And I guess, you know, I know that wasn't necessarily the way you guys, of course, wanted to go out and anything like that, but for you personally, how did you kind of take that loss and kind of say, hey, you know what, got to get my mind right, we want to do some things, we want to make some noise this year, and kind of get back there and then supersede that?
Yeah.
How do you personally do that?
I definitely use that as motivation and just remembering how that felt to lose.
Cool beans. And I got to ask you, what does it mean when you put that Green Wave jersey on?
Well, this team is definitely like family. We have a great atmosphere, great town. Everyone knows each other. It just feels really good.
This team's always just doing stuff,
Yeah.
always making it work. You guys always have, whether or not it's Collier or Aiden or somebody like that. You guys are always doing things to take it
Yeah.
to the next level. What is so special about Narrows and the community as well?
Definitely that it's like a brotherhood, basically. Like, we all hold each other accountable on this team, and we all know our roles and what we have to do to win.
Cool names. You guys not married?
We kind of touch base on everything.